Hello guys, this is Trader UC from Mommy Trades. It is June 7th, Sunday afternoon. Let's dig in and go through some of the charts. So here's a chart of SPY on a weekly time frame. We have comfortably made higher highs in all these bullish trend bars you see. Let's go to a daily time frame to get a better view. You can see we are comfortably above the 200-day simple moving average, and all past week we saw higher highs, nice green bars. On the Friday we saw gap up from this resistance of 313.26, which was from early part of March when this whole decline started. So we have nicely closed above that resistance with a gap up on Friday. And now on any weakness, that level can be seen as the first support. On any continued strength, we can target 324, 325 area first, which is the resistance from this bearish trend bar from the late February time frame. And then this on anything above that, we can target 330, 332 area on continued strength. So if we were to give up the move from Friday and fill the gap, anything below that, let me zoom in. And we can see on Wednesday and Thursday we kind of consolidated sideways and gave this area a little strength. Anything below that, we have this small gap to fill between 309 and the high is 308.26. So very small gap, but I would anticipate any weakness will be bought, because we can assume right now that the trend is still up, and the buyers will keep on stepping in until we see the structure break down a little bit. But right now it doesn't look like it wants to go down. The momentum is nicely up. You can see the volume uptick as well on Friday. So that was SPY. Let's look at Qs, which is the technology sector. So nice upwards channel. You can see multiple touch points here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on any pullback, that would be the first area to look for any bounce, for any strength, or for any buyers to show up. Okay, we are in all-time high territory, so anything over and above the first target can definitely be if we were to extend this trend line. So 243, 244 area can be the first target on the upside on any continued strength. We saw the volume uptick on Friday, continuously moving up all throughout the week. Anything, let me dig into like a 4-hourly time frame, and you can see the underlying structure is bullish. We see more bullish trend bars, and the any bearish trend bar would not see a follow through. Instead, you will get a neutral or a pause and then the continuation up. So similar story. And anything, if we are to sell off, the first area of support is 233.7. Anything below that, we can see this trend line, this channel line. Let me extend that. So around 230 area would be a nice one to see any pause on the downside. So keep that in mind. Let's go to Amazon. Nice, I would not call it a bull flag, but you know, a nice upward channel. 1, 2, 3 touch points. We are above the, let me go to daily, actually start off from there. So we are above all the moving averages here, the ones that we need to kind of consider, 50 and 200 in both. Nice bullish piercing pattern here. Nice hammer bar, pin bar over here at the channel support, and now we are in the middle of that channel, moved sideways most of the week. Last week, the Friday was a nice bullish trend bar with a slight uptick in volume, not a whole lot, but again, on what we can look for this early next week is the breakout from this range towards the top side is 2500 to look for. Anything over and above, we can target the upside towards the channel resistance. Anything below 24, I would say 40 area, which was the bottom from Friday. We can target any 2400 area first, and then on continued weakness, 2360 is the first touch point where we can expect a bounce. Okay. All right. Let's move on to Apple. We are in all-time high territory. Nice volume uptake. The daily time frame, you can see any weakness was bought. We saw this. This is sort of a key support now, 315, 314 area. On any weakness, we can see some buyers show up here. I'm sure a lot of stops are, stop losses for people are waiting here. So if we were to break down, we can see a quick dump towards the 310 area, and then there's a small gap below 310 all the way to 308. On any continued strength, I would target 335, 340 areas as psychological, multiple of 5 targets areas. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Once we broke out of this inverse head and shoulders, we saw a nice move up, retest of that resistance, which turned into a support, and went all the way back up towards 460, gave up. We saw this hammer bar in late May, and since then we tried to move up but couldn't really break out of this 430 area. And now on Friday we saw sort of a red to green move where we opened weak but we rallied towards the top side. However, we couldn't break out of this 430 area, but this pattern by itself seems a little bit bullish because we are over 50% or at least 50% into the bearish bar from Thursday. So let's keep an eye on that. And again, the stock managed to close above the 50-day simple moving average, which is this blue line. So that is a good sign. On any weakness, I would think 393 area holds as the first touch bounce play can be in cards. Anything below that, I would target 380 as our first support and 367 as anything below that. But it does seem like we are seeing some sort of a head and shoulder pattern here as well. Like this one be a left shoulder, head, and then maybe a right shoulder right here. We'll see how it happens, but for right now, it is bullish. Okay. Let's look at NVDA. Sideways action for the most part last week. You can see really range bound here, and then on Friday tried to break out but couldn't really kind of give up close that would be considered that, hey, we are out of this range. This can definitely fail, but who knows? We'll just keep an eye on it. For right now, it's really range bound and kind of trading in this 355 and 345. We did manage to close above the 355, so which is a good sign, but still we are in this broader range, I would say, which is 365 to 340. So just keep that in mind as you trade this chart. Okay, here is Tesla chart. I know some of you requested me to look at this chart. Oops, what happened here? We don't want that. Okay. So last week Tesla made a bunch of these inside bars all throughout the daily time frame. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, and you can see all these bars were sort of inside bars, one after the other. So anything above 913 can be seen as a breakout spot, and so we are getting some sort of a consolidation and kind of acceptance of price where people are not selling the stock, but they're not aggressively buying it as well. So typical definition of consolidation. So keep an eye on for that. Anything above, we will be targeting. The first could be the 944, 950 area as our first target for Tesla. Okay, and here's a Microsoft chart, daily time frame. Let's look at weekly time frame. Nice bullish price action. Again, the underlying weekly price action is very nice because we have these bullish trend bars, and all the red bars you see will have bottom wicks. So no real sellers here in this top. By looking at a daily time frame, this seems to be the resistance point right now, which is the high around 188, 187.50 area. That is the one. And then on the downside, we have this 176. So this has been the range in the past few weeks. So we're looking for really good consolidation here. Anything over and above this one, we are talking really nice price action. We can look for the highs around 190 area as the first target, and you can see we have these bottom wicks in a daily time frame starting to form, which means there is support here in this area. So anything below can be seen as an opportunity to dip by all the way to 177, 176.50 area, and that's where also the 50-day SMA will also start coming in. Okay, and also let us quickly go over this TNDM chart that I know any open as a swing long. So looking at a daily time frame, it looks nice, where we did break out of this 77 resistance zone actually previously as well, and we went all the way up till 90 area. Similar price action here in the recent history, where early part of April we saw a nice breakout, move all the way up to 92s, and then since then we have pulled back all the way nicely towards the 50 simple day moving average, which also happens to be a channel bottom. So I think that was a good risk and reward in opening that trade that Annie did. And my stop loss will definitely be I would say anything below or close to $70. I can look towards a pullback towards 70 and still remain bullish on this one, but let's see if we get any nice follow through on the early part of this next week, where we can lighten the loads towards 85. Okay, all right, talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of your day.